is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we're going to start with an American woman from New York called Onika Andrew Robinson. She has become a bit of a viral sensation on TikTok because of a recent trip to Pakistan, where she went to meet her online lover, an 18-year-old called Nidal Ahmed Memon, in Karachi in October 2024. Now this involves some catfishing from her. You see, she had portrayed herself with a filter as a white blonde woman during her online conversations with Memon. Despite this deception, the two had, in an online Islamic marriage ceremony, married, setting the stage for, well, some drama. She arrived in Pakistan and immediately faced rejection from Memon's mother. She wasn't overly fond of the fact that her then 19-year-old son was with a 33-year-old American woman. Memon was willing to continue the relationship, which has led to the speculation of a US green card being the motivation. Memon and his mother fled their home because Mrs. Robinson, let's call her Mrs. charitably, shall we, had basically parked up outside their home and decided, yeah, no, this is where I'm staying. They locked the property and had abandoned the place. She then set up camp outside Memon's apartment complex. I'm going to play a clip of one such incident here.
I'm not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm getting my Pakistani passport and Pakistani ID.
You have Pakistani ID?
I'm getting it. Do y'all agree?
Not agree.
Your friend?
Mind your business. What? Talk.
Local humanitarian group Chipper had offered to assist. She repeatedly rejected help, and as the drama continued to unfold, she gained attention from local men who began to propose to her. She formed unlikely friendships with local residents and policewomen who treated her with respect.
Listen.
Yes. What are you doing here?
I don't live here. I'm chilling.
You chilling here? Why are you not taking your flight?
It's none of your business. Now go home.
She, though, is not done and has demands because she wants to stay and her tourist visa has expired. I'm going to play those demands here, and as you can tell, she is not the most respectful person. I think she believes she can bring her interpretation of culture, her culture, with her, not realizing that in Pakistan there is big emphasis on hospitality, so her disrespect towards them is not going to help the situation.
Come here, please come here.
Listen.
Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Please have seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash.
You catfished a guy into marrying you who may well have only been interested because blonde and white, that tells you he has a preference, but also because opportunity at a green card in the United States. No offense intended, but this is quite a common behavior from many who are not from as advantaged a place as you, right? Privileged, as it were. The land of the free. Well, not if your name is Mrs. Robinson and you want to give it up so quickly. At the moment you're Pakistan's problem, but I can imagine in the near future you become America's problem when you're sent back. Yay, for them. Moving on. As we're in the realm of international, we should probably talk briefly about the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, as it's more commonly known. Founded in 1961 by John F. Kennedy, recently purged. Had an annual budget of $50 billion, employed 10,000 people. It's been around for a while, but as part of a government shift to be more economical with expenditure, it's under the chopping block. This has led to many outlets, many creators speaking out against this. I have no vested interest in it, so I will not speak on any position of authority as to whether or not it's a good thing or not. All I can say is, the American people were warned ahead of time this was going to happen. Only with time will we see whether or not it is truly bad or truly good. AF Post on Twitter, shortly after USAID is shut down, Lib something streamer Vosh is begging fans for subs and money. It is unclear if these two are related in the wake of many left-wing outlets being exposed as arms of USAID. Now, I had seen many people, left-leaning and right-leaning, talking about the importance of the free press. I've seen that. I was always led to believe that USAID was responsible for civilian foreign aid and development assistance. I didn't realise it was so all-encompassing, because I'm obviously not as invested in this subject. My politics are vastly more interesting to me. The video in question seems appropriate. Let's play that.
And forgive me for being a bit self-centered for a moment. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know. They say privileged streamer. My job could go out like that. You know how crazy things are getting over here? Literally, like, at any moment. You know that? They could just say, hey, YouTube, it's un-American of you to allow left-leaning people to post videos. These communist videos are pro-China. Kablamo, I'm out. And that's a little scary. It's literally, like, there's no, like, it's a day-by-day thing. I wake up every morning and I check. So, I'm just saying, in the meantime, maybe I'm a little bit more like and subscribey than usual.
Retweeted by my dear friend Sanut, this was literally all right-leaning creators between 2015 on. Quote, they could just decide they don't want me anymore, end quote. But they also said that wasn't happening either. Either, yes. It's interesting when the window shifts, as it were, the political window, and people start to experience the very thing they denied and ignored when it was happening to their opponents. As somebody that likes to watch this from the distance, I find it a fascinating case study of human behaviour, the blind spots and the bias. People may disagree with that, and you're well within your right to. I am, however, going to sit and laugh, stand and laugh, walk around and laugh, because this is an interesting change in politics. It really is. Whether it is something to do with what is dubbed the deep state or a purge of some kind, I don't care. I want to see this mess unfold. I want to see how the establishment handles these changes, because change sometimes needs to happen. Whether it's good or not is entirely subjective. This USAID thing has been a very hot topic, along with Hassan Piker and a few other topics, which I think we're going to fit into this video. I think we have to. Although, since USAID has been on the chopping block, this does afford us an opportunity to mention, just as an honourable mention, a recent video from Lily Tino.
Difference between cis and biological women. Biological women, quote unquote, it's an outdated term. It doesn't mean much of anything. Biological women puts down trans people.
I wonder if this had anything to do with the fact that a recent executive order has come into effect when it concerns biological sex acknowledgement of and the banning of people who identify as female but are biologically male competing in women's sports. He's only been in office for 2 weeks. This is very interesting times right now. Again, whether you disagree or not, that's entirely your opinion, and I'm not providing mine, so please don't think you can speak for me. I'm intrigued to see how this unfolds because this isn't my country. My country's too busy doing nanny state stuff. We don't have freedoms. And don't worry, I'll complain about my country in a separate video, but it won't be here because no one will watch it. As we're in the realm of politics, we should probably stay here for a bit and insert Damien Leone. This is the filmmaker and director of the Terrifier series, lead actor for which criticised Donald Trump, which forced Damien Leone on Twitter, Facebook as well, posted to Twitter, the Facebook post I think, to speak about the separation of art, artist, politics and the product, by saying hopefully I never have to bring up politics publicly ever again, but this is desperately needed to be said on behalf of the Terrifier franchise. I want to make a very important statement regarding the Terrifier franchise in this ugly political climate we're living in. As most of you know, some of my cast and crew members have a very passionate political presence on social media, with extreme and sometimes harsh opinions, which is their right. I am all for freedom of speech and expression. That being said, Terrifier is not in any way, shape or form a political franchise. I did not get into filmmaking to become a politician or promote any political agendas or ideologies, especially through a killer clown movie. I fell in love with horror movies as a form of pure entertainment, and those are the films I like to make. Since Terrifier 1, our cast and crew has and still consists of both Republicans and Democrats, and anyone is welcome to be a part of it, regardless of their political affiliations, as long as they are a decent human being. That goes for our fanbase as well. If this doesn't sit well with any fans or cast crew members, that is your right and I respect it. You don't have to buy a ticket and you don't have to work on these films. Thank you. And I recommend you don't let toxic rhetoric on either side of the political spectrum deter you from being a Terrifier fan. Now at some point, Damien had to turn replies off on this post on Twitter, because some believe that this is wrong of him to say, to take the position that he has taken, or that his statement is influenced by other goings-on concerning LGBTQ advocacy. As far as I'm concerned, the fact he even had to make this statement is irritating enough. Every actor, actress, actually every poxy human on this planet has an opinion, and the fundamental right to having a differing opinion or the same opinion is vitally important. You can disagree with that, and that is totally fine, which is what he has said. He is not accepting or condoning the perspectives of people who, out of character, are something else. Turns out, people aren't just the characters they portray. The annoying thing really is that then when people like Damien make these statements known, it's why the replies got turned off, people then try and use the reductio ad absurdum aspect of it to say, yes, but these rights and freedoms are being taken away, so you should speak up on it. Purity testing the director and forcing his hand. The one thing in this instance he's trying to protect is something he cares about. That's not to say he doesn't care about the other things, but they are issues separate from the Terrifier franchise, and it's vitally important to be able to do something like that. And then before someone says, well then surely you can appreciate Gary Glitter's music. No, but thank you for being that person, and I know who you are, who will undoubtedly make that kind of point in my comments. Ultimately, it does not matter what inspired you, Damien that is, to make this statement, or to turn the replies off. What matters is, it is important sometimes to separate your politics, of the individual especially, from the product you produce. And clearly in this case, Damien's politics are nothing related to what Damien does as a profession. That doesn't mean he doesn't care, only that he doesn't want what he loves also to be harmed by the words of others. For whatever reason, and I'll have to say it again, although I'm undoubtedly going to get loads of dislikes like I do every time I mention this, the US voted for this. Much like when Biden won, Trump before, Obama before, you have to accept the consequences of those victories. Along with the House, the Senate, same thing, you have to accept it until you are allowed to vote again, which for the House is in 2 years' time. Until then, raise your concerns. Of course you should. Speak to your local representatives. Make your voices heard. That is the wonderful thing about social media. We are all granted a wondrous gift of being able to speak our minds. Even if you're in a position of privilege, as some might deem it, if you're successful, it doesn't mean you should, or anything you work on, be poisoned by the words of others if people disagree or agree with. I know that's a bit more of a serious statement to make, and I'm undoubtedly going to have people DMing me on Twitter about it, disagreeing with me. That's quite alright. I'm English, again, don't forget here, nothing there impacts me right now. And if it does, I'll more than likely laugh at it because my Prime Minister's an NPC. And I don't mean non-playable character, I mean nonce-protecting caricature. So, to the final subject, and I was going to insert Hassan Piker here, but based on typical views and like-dislike, I'm trying to play carefully here. We're going to talk about something else completely different. An individual called Bonnie Blue. An individual, a British individual, who in Australia had their visa cancelled in November last year after public outcry over a viral schoolies stunt that featured barely legal young men. She's an OF creator, I would say failed adult film actor, but in this case, it might be applicable for this one instance. But since she's known for rage baiting on social media to drive up interest in her content and some weird little back and forth with Lily Phillips, who's also a bit of a skank, she's quite successful. Now, she had announced, via a video that was doing its rounds but has magically disappeared from many platforms, she was going to do 1,000 guys in 12 hours, which yes means lining up many one-pump chumps to see what could be done. The problem with this is, the video has since been removed and banned from OF. A spokesperson for OF had said that the platform is designed for creators who have completed our comprehensive onboarding process and choose to monetize their content. To keep our community safe, we also verify the age, identity and consent of all parties featured in any content on OF. We do not allow a large number of non-OF creators to be featured on an account even where release forms have been provided. So it turns out there is a number limit. 1,057 in 12 hours might be over the limit somewhere. I can't imagine where. Did Lily Phillips upload her content? Because that was a few hundred, wasn't it? So we know it's in the hundreds, right? Is that what we're thinking here? So the video where she bragged about doing this video and the video itself are gone, as are the videos of the aftermath. The video itself was recorded at a $30,000 mansion, I think a day, week, famed for hosting illegal parties of the adult variety. And she had said that she makes the controversial content, rage baiting in order to boost subscriptions, which ultimately line her pockets, which does make some sense. There's much in the way of discussion about what cost, but in reality, I don't care about the cost to her mental or physical health, only the fact that she's dumb enough to pull these stunts. The correct comment, though, to take from this, putting in all that time and taking all that damage, is imagine doing all that work for nothing. And what an anticlimax. There is a belief, because of it being somewhat logistically impossible to do this much work, that it is a stunt. However, there are some that were in fact in the queue that claim to have been willing participants but pulled out because they didn't get one-on-one time with Blue. I assume there were people in the room and they were watching you perform. That's disturbing. There's also that video of, and I covered it here, of Bevo standing in the queue to record on it, report on it even, with a mother dragging her 19-year-old son out of the line. Health experts themselves have warned about the any plan for anyone to pull these stunts like this, so Bonnie and Lily, because of the obvious physical and physiological toll. Don't forget here, unless you're a one-pump chump, this is, for both parties, a demanding activity, engages multiple muscles. The release of endorphins, the cardiovascular system, it is akin to a rewarding workout if done properly, and I'm paraphrasing what's on the screen because someone's going to think I'm a virgin for saying it this way on purpose. I'm having to choose my words carefully because YouTube will flag it. I don't want to get demonetized on another video, thank you. I just wanted to highlight the fact that allegedly 1,057 people have been lined up and they have done the deed, which is akin to throwing a sausage in a well. But in this instance, Bonnie's not getting paid for it. And if anyone wanted something light-hearted, where others might consider it a bum note, I think it's the perfect way to end the video. Now if you did enjoy, although I'm sure many of you didn't, do smash the like, tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll be on Twitch tonight. Hope to see you there. I think I'm going to play Dawn of War. Yeah, hope to see you there. If not, have a wonderful day and thank you very much for listening.